under a canopy of dense leaves. Buddha sat, the morning air heavy with anticipation. A merchant, Ananda, approached humbly. His steps faltered as his eyes avoided the serene gaze of the enlightened one. The disciples watched in silence, their faces reflecting a mixture of curiosity and reverence. Ananda knelt, his hands trembling, his heart burdened with unspoken turmoil. "Blessed One," Ananda began, his voice wavering, "I am tormented by desires that pull me from my vows and peace." Buddha regarded him, his eyes calm, reflecting the depth of oceans undisturbed by storms. "Speak without fear." "Ananda," he said. Ananda hesitated, glancing at the earth as though it might swallow his shame. "I yearn for love beyond my marriage," he admitted. "Desire, unbridled, can be like fire, warming in its glow or consuming all in its path," Buddha responded. The disciples murmured softly, their whispers dissipating like smoke in the stillness of the grove. Ananda's face flushed with shame. "Master," Ananda continued, "I am consumed by guilt. Yet the yearning feels insurmountable. Am I wicked for these thoughts?" "Thoughts, Ananda, are like birds passing through the sky. It is your will that decides their nesting place." The words settled over the gathering like a gentle rain, their weight sinking into every heart present. Ananda's breathing steadied. "But, Lord," Ananda questioned, "should I not banish such desires to remain virtuous and free from sin?" "Desires cannot be banished without understanding," Buddha replied. "To push away what you do not understand only strengthens its grip." "How then should I proceed?" Ananda's eyes pleaded, his soul balancing on the edge of despair and hope. "First, look deeply into your longing," Buddha advised. "What does it seek to fill? What emptiness calls it forth?" Ananda closed his eyes, his hands clenching the hem of his robe. "My marriage feels devoid of connection." "Master, then, Ananda, is the fault in desire, or in the neglect of what was once nurtured?" Buddha asked gently. Ananda's head lowered further, tears pooling in his eyes. "I do not know, Lord. I feel lost in my own heart." Buddha's voice softened like the wind caressing a reed. "Loss is a teacher, Ananda, though a stern one. How do I follow this teacher when my mind wars against itself?" Ananda asked, anguish plain in his voice. "To walk with wisdom is to neither flee from pain nor to clutch at joy," Buddha answered serenely. The disciples shifted slightly, their silence a testament to the gravity of this teaching moment. "But how can I honor my marriage while wrestling with forbidden love?" Ananda asked, voice barely above a whisper. Buddha reached into the soil, lifting a handful of dust. "See this earth, Ananda. Is it pure? Number, Lord. It bears impurities within it," Ananda replied, puzzled by the question's intent. "And yet from this soil, the lotus blooms, unsullied by its roots," Buddha said, releasing the dust. Ananda's brows furrowed as realization began to dawn within him. "You mean the struggle itself can purify me?" "Struggle, when met with awareness, is the crucible of virtue," Buddha confirmed. "Run not from it, learn its nature." "But my wife, does she not suffer from my wandering mind?" Ananda pressed, guilt lacing his tone. "Her suffering and yours are intertwined, Ananda," Buddha replied. "Healing one shall ease the burden of the other. Yet, how do I mend a bond strained by neglect and my own yearning?" Ananda asked earnestly. "Love, like a flame, requires tending," Buddha said. "It fades in neglect and burns brightly when fed with care. Do I speak of my torment to her, or carry it alone as penance?" Ananda inquired hesitantly. "Truth shared with kindness is a balm, while secrets kept in fear are seeds of discord," Buddha instructed. The wind stirred, carrying with it the scent of blossoms, as if nature echoed the teachings spoken. "Master, should I then abandon my feelings for another and focus solely on my marriage?" Ananda asked, Abandon nothing without understanding. Ananda, to cut without reason is to risk deeper wounds, Buddha explained with measured calm. Ananda raised his gaze. The lines of his face softened by the wisdom imparted to him. I am beginning to see. See that desire is not your enemy, nor your master, Buddha continued. It is a tool of realization. But does not yielding to desire lead to downfall and ruin? Ananda questioned, seeking deeper clarity. Yielding without wisdom is ruin. Yet suppressing without understanding is torment, Buddha replied. Balance is the path forward. How do I find this balance when my heart is a storm of contradictions? Ananda asked solemnly. Anchor yourself in mindfulness, Buddha advised. See each thought, each feeling, as waves upon the ocean of your soul. Will this mindfulness quell the storm within me? Ananda wondered, his voice tinged with tentative hope. Mindfulness brings clarity, and clarity stills storms, Buddha replied. It reveals the path hidden within the chaos. Master, will my wife forgive my wandering heart? Should she learn of it? Ananda asked, anxiety evident. Forgiveness arises not from seeking it, but from creating understanding and reconciliation, Buddha said. Meeting Ananda's gaze, Ananda placed his hands together, bowing deeply. I will strive to mend what I have broken, Master. Strive not for perfection, Ananda, but for awakening, Buddha reminded him. The lotus grows not in absence of mud. The grove seemed to sigh with relief as Ananda stood, his heart lighter, though the journey ahead was uncertain. The disciples sat in silence, the teachings settling into their souls, their own struggles illuminated by the words shared. And so, the morning gave way to noon, and Buddha's wisdom continued to ripple through the lives of those present. Another day, another soul seeking the light of wisdom approached Buddha under the spreading branches of the Bodhi tree. A woman named Sita arrived, her face shadowed by guilt, her hands shaking as she knelt before the enlightened one. Blessed One, Sita began, her voice faltering as her anguish seemed to weigh her words. I come bearing grave shame. Buddha's eyes, deep and kind, met hers with unyielding compassion, as if seeing through her pain to her essence. Speak without fear, child, he said gently, his voice soothing as a stream passing over smooth stones. I have betrayed my vows, seeking solace beyond my marriage. Now I am plagued by shame and endless torment, Sita confessed. The disciples remained silent, their breath held as Buddha's expression softened further, embracing the gravity of her turmoil. Sita, the actions born from our pain often yield greater suffering. Yet in acknowledgement lies the root of redemption, he replied. Tears began to trace paths down her face, her body trembling as though every word spoken freed a hidden burden. But Master, my betrayal has hurt those I vowed to love. Am I beyond forgiveness? Am I beyond redemption? She asked. No being is beyond redemption. Sita, Buddha said, forgiveness begins within the heart that recognizes its missteps and seeks clarity. How can I forgive myself? Sita questioned. When the shadow of my actions looms over everything I hold dear. Self-forgiveness is not absolution, Buddha explained. It is the courage to face your shadow and begin anew with wisdom. But how do I mend what I have broken? The ties that once bound us now feel irreparably severed, Sita lamented. Broken ties, when acknowledged, can be mended with threads of truth, repentance, and the will to heal, Buddha advised. Sita wept openly, her tears mingling with the earth, as the grove seemed to cradle her despair with its stillness. Master, I acted out of emptiness, a void within my heart that my marriage seemed unable to fill, she revealed. Emptiness is not conquered by seeking without, Buddha replied. It is understood and transformed by looking deeply within. But my longing overwhelmed my reason, leading me down a path that now feels irrevocably wrong, she admitted sorrowfully. Longing is not a foe, nor a friend. Sita, Buddha said, it is a mirror reflecting unmet needs and inner wounds. Then how do I transform this longing into something that does not harm but heals? Sita asked through her tears. Transform longing through mindfulness, Buddha answered. Learn to see its root, its path, and its destination without judgment or haste. But my husband will not understand my struggle. He sees only my failure. My betrayal, she confessed with despair. His pain is valid. Sita, Buddha said, yet through your honesty and efforts, bridges of understanding may be built. Is it right to expect him to forgive me when I can barely forgive myself? She asked, her tone filled with doubt. Forgiveness cannot be demanded or expected, Buddha replied. It is offered freely, and its power lies in its timing and sincerity. How then do I approach him when my heart trembles with fear and my guilt seems insurmountable? Sita inquired. Approach him with truth and humility. Sita, Buddha said, lay bare your heart with kindness and let his response be his own. Yet, Master, what if my truth only deepens his pain and creates an unbridgeable rift? She asked, her voice barely audible. Truth spoken with wisdom is a balm, Buddha assured her. Even if it stings, it sets the stage for healing. And if he rejects my plea, if he chooses to leave, where do I find solace and strength? She questioned. Solace lies in your effort to amend your wrongs, Buddha replied. Strength is found in the pursuit of understanding and growth. But will my actions always define me? Will I forever be the one who betrayed love and trust? She asked tearfully. Actions are like ripples in water. Sita, Buddha explained. They expand, yet they fade as new ripples emerge from mindful choices. Her trembling eased, though the burden of her actions still weighed heavily. Her tears seemed to slow, a quiet resolve forming. How do I honor my husband's pain while seeking to understand my own suffering? She asked, her voice steadying. Honor his pain by listening deeply, and honor yours by addressing the void with mindfulness and compassionate introspection, Buddha advised. Sita gazed at Buddha, her sorrow momentarily replaced by gratitude. Master, your words offer a path where I saw only despair. The path is not without thorns. Sita, Buddha said, yet each thorn reveals the beauty of the rose you seek. I vow to walk this path, Master, to face my actions and their consequences with courage, Sita promised solemnly. Then, Sita, may your journey bring healing to your heart and to those you have hurt, Buddha said. The disciples remained silent, their faces reflecting the profound impact of the teachings they had witnessed. Sita rose, her spirit heavy yet her resolve lightened by the wisdom imparted to her by the enlightened one. The grove seemed to exhale as she departed, leaving behind the echo of her weeping and her whispered promise. And so, the day passed, with Buddha's words lingering like the fragrance of blossoms in the minds of his disciples. Another day, another seeker arrived under the Bodhi tree, carrying questions heavy with pride and judgment like stones in a bag. A hermit named Vishva approached Buddha, his countenance marked by serenity yet shadowed by the weight of his own righteousness. Blessed One, Vishva began, his voice calm but carrying undertones of disdain. I scorn those who dishonor their vows and stray. Buddha's gaze rested upon Vishva, gentle yet piercing, as if seeing the unseen threads weaving through his heart. Speak further, Vishva, Buddha encouraged, his voice soothing yet firm like the unyielding wind through forest branches. I have renounced desire and lived in purity. Yet I struggle to accept the weakness I see in others, Vishva confessed. To renounce is noble, Buddha replied. But renunciation without compassion is a bridge incomplete, lacking the strength to carry wisdom. Vishva's brow furrowed, his serenity slightly disturbed by Buddha's words that challenged his pride. Master, I live without sin, holding true to my vows. Is it not righteous to scorn the unworthy? Vishva questioned. Righteousness born of scorn is like a fruit ripe in appearance but hollow within, Buddha explained calmly. The disciples exchanged glances, sensing the gravity of the teachings unfolding before them under the ancient tree. But those who betray their vows harm others and themselves, Vishva said. Should they not be judged for their failures? Their failures are mirrors. Vishva, reflecting our potential for struggle. Judging blinds us to the lessons within their imperfections. Vishva's lips tightened, his pride struggling against the wisdom that threatened to dismantle it. I disdain their weakness because I have conquered mine. Does that not place me above them in purity? He asked. To elevate oneself above others is to obscure the truth of shared frailty, Buddha replied. Wisdom sees unity, not superiority, but, Master, does striving for purity not set one apart from those who yield to desire and infidelity? Vishva pressed. Purity of heart shines brightest when it embraces the impure with compassion, not judgment, Buddha said. Vishva's pride wavered, his inner conflict visible in the crease of his brow and. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.